Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to everybody. All right. Today we're going to be talking about elevating your unicorn factor. One of my favorite topics. So we'll talk about what that means and why it's important. So please feel free to drop your questions or your comments into the chat. We can discuss them here live, or if you're watching the replay, I will definitely respond to your comments. So, your unicorn factor is your unique value proposition, meaning how you differentiate yourself or stand out from other coaches and consultants out there in the marketplace, right? Why do I call it that? Well, for starters, I'm completely obsessed with unicorns, so we're gonna get that out the way. And unicorns are unique, like kind of like the last of their kind. They have like this magical allure about them that sometimes you can't put it into words, right? But you admire them. So I strive to be a unicorn each and every day. Hey, Anna. I strive to be a unicorn every single day, right? But there's a lot of pressure in the online space to do what everyone to do what everyone else is doing. But in order to stand out, you can't try to blend in at the same time. So let me just repeat that one more time. There's pressure to do what everybody else is doing in the online space. However, in order to stand out, you can't try to blend in at the same time. So this means you can't copy other people's offers, their copy, their social media, their business model, and expect to stand out. I know it happens, right? But that's not what we want to do when we're trying to actually elevate our own unicorn factor. So the more you can be you and authentically you, the more you will attract your ideal clients. So, how can you elevate your unicorn factor? Let's talk about 3 ways that you can do this and why it's important. So, the first is going to be to identify your zone of genius. The second is going to be create offers using your zone of genius. And the third is going to be to clarify your messaging. So, when we talk about identifying your zone of genius encompasses something you're extremely knowledgeable in, you're passionate about. And based upon that knowledge and expertise, you can solve a problem for your target market that they'll pay for right now. All right. So it's important to live and operate in your zone of genius, right? Because it reflects the transformation you can provide to your clients. Once you get outside of your zone of genius, it's something like the Wild Wild West, honestly, where you're just pretty much just doing anything. Oh, thanks. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you see other coaches in your niche, right? And they might have they have an offer, right? You don't really know the ins and outs of that offer, right? But you start selling or doing something very similar or even the same. You have no idea how to deliver or if you are delivering on this offer. If you don't know how to execute at the thing that you're coaching people to do, right? You are outside of your zone of genius and you're definitely going to stand out in your niche, but you're going to stand out in the wrong way, right? You're definitely going to stand out in the wrong way. So, but once you found your zone of genius, it becomes easier to create content, right? Easier to create content, to speak to your ideal clients, and to run your programs, right? So let's talk about the second thing, which is creating offers using your zone of genius. One of the biggest mistakes that I see coaches and consultants make is selling offers that have nothing to do with their business. So here's a tangible example. You're a financial coach and you're teaching people how to budget and save on a fixed income, right? You don't focus on mindset anywhere in your program. But then you start to offer a gratitude journal because that seems to be popular amongst other coaches, right? Let's go back to this coach's zone of genius real quick. Is gratitude and mindset anywhere in there, right? Now, don't get me wrong, you can definitely incorporate mindset and you should into everything that you do. You can do gratitude journaling for anything, but is this really a part of your teachings in your program anywhere? Like, is it incorporated? Yes, it can be incorporated, but is it, right? So, what's the point? Are you just offering it to sell something? There's a difference between having cohesive offerings that align with their teachings, and randomness, right? So don't fall into the randomness trap of just trying to sell something and it doesn't really align with what you're doing at all, right? Keep your offers aligned with your zone of genius so that you can stand out. You have a unique point of view, a unique way of doing things, methods. This is what needs to be included in your offerings. Your offers can't be unique to you if you're always copying something else, honestly. You need to get really, really good at answering the question, why my coaching program or why my consulting services over anyone else's? So get really good at answering this question, why my coaching program or why my consulting services over anyone else's? Okay. Which leads me to the third thing, clarifying your messaging. Part of elevating your unicorn factor is being clear in your messaging and your marketing. If your target market doesn't understand what you do, how you can help, you're not going to be able to clearly communicate your unicorn factor. If you aren't attracting your ideal clients or any clients, then messaging could definitely be the culprit, right? Many times we can't message our offers because we're not clear on the transformation we're providing to our clients, right? We're trying to be way too general and overpromise, and it makes it seem not realistic, right? So in my Clarity Cash Flow Accelerator, clients do learn how to identify their zone of genius, communicate their unique value proposition, aka their unicorn factor, generate leads, and turn them into paying clients, right? So if you want to get high ticket clients, you have to get very specific about the transformation that you provide. This all comes from being able to elevate and clearly articulate your unicorn factor. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions about that so far? Okay. Let me know if you do. Go ahead and drop them into the chat. So to recap, in order to elevate your unicorn factor, you need to identify your zone of genius, create offerings using your zone of genius, and clarify your messaging, right? Those three things. So if you're interested in learning more about how we can do this or how we do this in the Clarity Cash Flow Accelerator, just click the link in my bio if you're watching me on Instagram. If you're watching me on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, click the link in the description of the live. And you can enroll in the Clarity Cash Flow Accelerator. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. And I'll definitely respond to those. Do we have any other questions, guys? Anything? I'm just going to scroll through and check. Hannah says, you are amazing. Thanks so much, Hannah. All right. All right, guys. Well, that is all. Like I said, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out. So if you're watching me on Facebook and YouTube, I'm at iSimplyShe. If you're watching me on LinkedIn, I'm at Crystal Vernay. And on Instagram, I'm at I_simply_she. All right, y'all. That is it. Short and sweet today. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon.